Spring can't come soon enough, and we are tracking it. I'm 13 News meteorologist Matt Standridge. When will spring arrive? Well, it kind of depends on how you define spring arriving. We're taking a look at flowers blooming and trees starting to bud, and eventually got to start cutting the grass again. I want to introduce you to what's called the USA National Phenology Network. Phenology is the study of plants and their arrival and eventually their departure just when we get into the springtime when they start to come alive. And so they take observations all across the country when we start seeing things blooming and things budding. Now specifically, they like to look at lilacs and honeysuckles because those are kind of good indicators when a lot of other plants will start to bloom or bud. So we've got a couple different colors I wanted to show you. This is for the last week of February and first week of March. You've got the purple, you've got the green. For the purple, we tend to start seeing the lilac bushes and the honeysuckles. They start to finally leaf out. Not quite bloom yet, but they start to leaf out. And that's also when we start noticing a lot of other flowers starting to bloom, maybe some daffodils and tulips. Now, this is just kind of a general look. What you get in your neighborhood may be slightly different. Everyone's kind of a little bit different, but these colors show you widespread blooming of the lilacs and honeysuckles for their leaves out first. The green color actually is an indication of lilacs and honeysuckles when they start to bloom. When they start to bloom, that's also when we start seeing a lot of these deciduous trees, the ones that lose their leaves and bring them back. This is the time of year when they start to leaf out. So when the honeysuckles start to bloom, the deciduous trees start to leaf out, so we start turning things a lot greener. We've already noticed that along the Gulf Coast of the United States and deep into Florida. Allergies are coming back in a big way because of that too, something that we'll have to watch out for. But we're gonna watch these zones push to the north. So generally the pink color shows you when a lot of these flowers are starting to bloom, and the green color shows you when leaves are starting to return. But we use honeysuckles and lilacs to try to get a best indication of their progress. Now we noticed for much of the Gulf Coast, a lot of it was actually about a week behind, but a lot of this purple advancing color to the north, this is going to swing to the north over the next several weeks. It's actually about a week in advance. We've had a very warm end of February, and so that's kind of help accelerate things. Now what we're noticing, it doesn't actually move northward at the same pace, but a lot of it depends on the temperature swings and how sunny we are. You know, if we get these big systems with a lot of clouds and rain and maybe even snowfall, it kind of pauses the progress. So we're tracking spring. Lilacs and honeysuckles and leaves starting to return. What about the hummingbirds? A lot of folks look forward to the hummingbirds starting to come back, and they are starting to come back just to the southern fringes of the United States. This is coming in from Mississippi State University. This is their outlook for 2025 on when the ruby-throated hummingbird, one of the most popular ones, starts moving northbound. First off, you notice a huge cutoff. Reason why, we tend to have different types of hummingbirds off towards the west, but we've got the ruby-throated hummingbird and a lot of others as well coming with it too. You've got the different zones. Throughout the month of March, we're watching the hummingbirds come back to the Gulf Coast and much of the deep south. We start getting into the Appalachians and parts of the southern Ohio River Valley and into the Ozarks. First half of April, we get past Indianapolis and the northern half of Indiana and for parts of the southern Great Lakes the second half of April. And if you're way up to the north, closer to the Canadian border, generally about May, the first couple weeks of May, you start to see the hummingbirds coming back. So here in a short while, make sure you've got the bird feeders ready to go as they take a pit stop, as not just the hummingbirds, but a lot of birds will be making their migration back to the north as we start thawing out and temperatures warm up. So spring is on the way, and we're tracking it.